You know, we talk on this show a lot about relationships and the relationship called marriage. When I ask people why they get married, and again, it's not like I've been single all my life. You know I've been married and divorced 4 times. By the way, that 4th divorce, in case there was ever any doubt about it, is final. I am not married. I am not separated. I am not estranged. I am divorced. It's official. The paperwork finally got stamped. And now, finally, I don't have to pretend to be free. I am free. No longer am I living in sin when I am inserting my penis into a woman now. I can do it with a clear conscience. Because you know me. I felt dirty going out with women knowing that my papers hadn't been stamped. So now, I am a completely free man, free to do whatever I like, anytime I like. Not that I wasn't doing it already, but now I'm free to do it. And not to have to worry about what people will say. Not that I ever worried about what they say. So finally, in case you were wondering, I'm now a free man. Anything I do from here on in, I am free to do. No longer will people look at me as wearing the scarlet letter. Thank you for your support. And the deal here is I ask you, when you tell me you're married, I ask, why did you get married? And the reason I ask this question is not because I'm better than you, because I've been married and divorced. The reason I ask is because I'm curious why other people do it. I mean, I could sit here all day, and I'm not going to waste anybody's time, again, talking about why I did it. I'm sick of talking about it, frankly. But I know there's always people who weren't paying attention the last time I talked about it, or who were too busy to tune in the 40 times I talked about every element of my married life over the years. But I do ask you when you call in why you're getting married, especially if you're younger. I say, why do you get married? And the number one answer I get, the number one answer is security. I get married because I want the security of a relationship. I get married because I want the security that marriage brings. Why would any man say that? Man does not get security from marriage. Women do. You know why? Because most women have saved no money, invested nothing, own no property unless they inherited it, don't own a nice car unless they can suck the chrome off a trailer hitch. Most women come into relationships in debt. And the reason they come in debt is because they've been spending money on shoes, purses, clothing, trips with the girls to Cabo, and what have you, hoping to meet a guy who would ultimately then open up his checkbook and pay off all the bills that these women have been incurring. Usually when you meet a woman, she is in debt. And Prince Charming not only gets to give her the glass slipper, but he also gets to pay all the bills, the student loans, the Visa, the MasterCard, the American Express. Prince Charming gets to pay all those off. So there is security for a woman because when a woman gets you to sign a marriage agreement, a contract, if you will, we call it a marriage license or a marriage certificate, depending on whether you're married yet or not. When a woman gets you to sign, she gets benefits. She starts out usually contributing next to nothing. Sometimes, you know what has usually happened to me with women I've been with? Okay, they usually start off with like $1,000 or $2,000 that they have like in their checking account. And they say, well, you know, now that we're splitting everything, it's only right that I give you the $2,000 I have, or the $900 I have, or the $258 in my Citibank account, or whatever. And that's the last money they're ever going to contribute. After this, even if the two of you work, you pay the rent, and her money is mad money to continue spending on clothes, purses, shoes, belts, other accessories, jewelry, cosmetics, bubble bath, lingerie, whatever. cute little cars named Cabriolet or Bug, Miata. You know the deal. She spends on her, and you pay the day-to-day expenses. And whatever's left, you spend on yourself, which is next to nothing, usually. Then she can go out and have sex with your best friend or her high school sweetheart or college boyfriend or whatever. And then after she does that and you find out about it, then she can take half of everything you have. So she can do whatever she wants, knowing that she can take half of everything you've earned. So for a woman, marriage provides security. There's no doubt about it. But marriage does not provide security for a man. I mean, we live in this dream world. The idea that if you marry somebody, that's it, they're devoted to you. You know, they don't have to get married to be devoted to you. They can be devoted to you without getting married. Why do they need to get married to be devoted to you? Does that mean that before you marry somebody and you're dating them, that they're actually banging other people right up until your wedding night? Is that the deal? I want to know. I mean, what's in it for me to sign a contract with you? Are you telling me you're going to keep effing other guys until the day we get married? You're telling me that that's a guarantee once we sign that contract that you won't do it again? There's not even any financial penalty if you don't live up to the agreement. If I marry you and agree to give you half of everything I have, you can then go F my father, my brother, my best friend, whoever, your boss. And then when I find out, you can say, F you, I'm going to take everything you've got. For a woman, it's a perfect deal. Of course women want to get married. But what is in it for a man? I mean, if what you want is sex, you can get that without getting married. In fact, you're probably getting it right now. You think the sex is going to get better when you sign that contract? It's not. 99 times out of 100, the sex you're getting now is the best it will ever be. It will not be better than it is today. 99 times out of 100, the sex is going downhill from here. The quality of it, the frequency of it, it starts going down. You know why women don't want to live with you? You ever notice that a lot of women want to resist living with you? By the way, I recommend you not do it, okay? But those of you boys who've been trying to convince your girlfriend to move in and she resists, or she says, you know, I don't want to do it till we're married or whatever. You know what's really going on there? She doesn't want you to know how little she will actually put out. She does not want you to see how lousy she looks without makeup on. She doesn't want you to see those nights she comes home and eats like a pig when you're not looking. She doesn't want you to smell the bathroom after she's taken a very long visit to the toilet. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't want you to know all that stuff. If you live with her and you keep living with her, everything's going to come out. You know what? All the guard comes down. And women know that. So a woman who has designs on marrying you will try to resist moving in with you, not because it's immoral, not because God wouldn't approve or the parents wouldn't approve or the family wouldn't approve. For Christ's sake, it's the 21st century. No, it's because you're going to find out all the things about her that she's able to cover up right now. Everybody puts their best foot forward when they want to marry you, when they want you to marry them. So what I'm trying to tell you is this. There's no security for a man. A woman can still have sex with anyone she wants to and know in her head that she can take half of everything you have. The most security a man ever has is when he refuses to marry a woman. Because a woman knows if she has sex with somebody else while she's dating you, you'll dump her ass so fast with no financial penalty. So think about this for a second. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. It's very important. The most security you will ever have in life is when a woman is trying to get you to marry her and you say, I'm not ready, or no. Because she's going to be on her best behavior all the time. If she's a bitch, she's going to tone it down. If she likes girls' night out, she'll tell the girls she's going to have to drop out of the scene for a while she's trying to convince you to marry her. If she likes spending money, she'll show you how frugal she is. If you like sex, she'll F you 6 times a day. She will do whatever you want her to do in order to get you to sign the contract. Just like a car salesman or a boat salesman. Hell, I went and bought a spa for my backyard today, one of these hot tubs. 62 jets, 4 horsepower. Okay? I went, and you know what? The guy who's like, selling me. He's selling me. The thing is, the guy doesn't have to sell me. I want the damn thing, and I need it in 2 weeks so it can be installed. But, come on. He's going to start selling. Life is good. When you get that spa, life's going to be great. It's all good. Now, right now, the guy's great. I guarantee you. After they drop this thing in my backyard and it starts to sputter out, or I press the button and it doesn't get warm or something, this guy is going to run for the hills. I know it. You know what? I've been here before. I just love being sold. I love when they just they jizz all over me. Hey, it's going to be great. And there you'll be in your backyard, and you'll have a beer, and there's a little cup holder there for your beer, and you put your head back, and you're sitting in the pillow, and life is going to be good. And you know what it's like. The minute they get your money, you know what it's like. Thank you for calling. Your call is important to us. Your call will be answered by the first available representative. And you know what? When you get married, it's going to be the same thing. Honey, I'm horny. Your call is important to us. Your call will be answered in the order in which it was received. That's what it's gonna be. For a man, there is no security in marriage at all. No guarantee of any kind. This is a complete illusion. There isn't even a scintilla of evidence that there is security. There is security for women because women get financial security. If you have any money at all, they're getting a piece of it without having to do anything except get you to sign the contract. And they can go off and do whatever they want. By the way, they can start spending money on purses and shoes and clothes and putting it all on your credit card with your last name and everything. Then after you find them with your best friend, then they can just take your money and then spend it on your best friend and themselves. It's absolutely true. So this is why I tell you boys, if you want to get married, I've been married, okay? So I'd be crazy to put myself in the position of saying people shouldn't get married because I've been married. I've gotten a prenup, but I've been married. But would you ever do it because there's security in marriage? Do you believe that marriage provides security? I say no.
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM.
1-800-5800-866.
I just started listening to you, and every time I listen to you, I just get more and more disturbed about your outlook on women.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Leykis on Hot Talk 1080 KOTK.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Karen on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How are you?
I'm okay, Karen.
I'm a first-time caller. I only listened to your show a handful of times. I haven't really had a chance to be able to listen, but I looked. And literally driving home, I had to pull over because I'm listening to what you're saying about why people get married, and I was cracking up. As a female, I got to agree with you. I think 99% of the time, that's why people get married, for all those reasons and all those things that you said happen.
Yeah.
But personally, I'm getting ready to get remarried, just got divorced, and I got to tell you, my first marriage, honestly, I was the breadwinner. I was. So it definitely wasn't for security. It was absolutely for love. And this time around.
But you could love someone without marrying.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So when you're sitting there.
Don't you love your fiancé? You love him.
I do. And when you were sitting there saying, why would someone get married? I'm sitting there saying, well, if you say it's because you love them, that kind of sounds a little ridiculous because you can live with them. You don't have to get married just because you love them. But I think there's security for other reasons. There's security for, for your insurance, for life.
You can get insurance. You have insurance right now.
I do. And I think a lot of it was, I have a child, so there's the security of having that family and having that home.
But there isn't any security. Look how many people don't get to see their kids. They don't get visitation. The other spouse left town. They have to pay child support on kids they never see. There's no security.
But you know what? I got to tell you, there is that 1% that doesn't work that way because I just got divorced and I didn't.
Well, you know what? You can't do a radio show for the exceptions to the rule.
Oh no, you're right. But I got to tell you, a lot of what you said was true. At getting divorced, I didn't ask for a dime. I didn't ask for any of the deferred comp. I didn't ask for any of the 401k.
But whether you ask for it or not is not the question here. The fact is, no, you're not hearing what I'm saying. It's not a matter of whether you ask for it. You had the right to take it. You didn't take it, but the point is you were the one with the security, not the other person.
You know what? And I was listening to what you said, and I got to tell you, I 100% agree with you, because going into this marriage, I have 100% security. Right now, being a single parent, my fiancé is completely supporting us. I'm starting my own business. Granted, I know...
And once you get him to sign that agreement to be married to you, then if it doesn't work out, you can take from him.
And you know what? Though, as a female, I got to tell you, maybe I'm going to get heat for this. I never understood why that right is there. I'm one of those very few that do not agree that when you get married, the woman is automatically entitled to half. I just don't understand why that is the way it is. I just don't.
Because we're a bunch of the men who are in office are a bunch of pussies, and they tolerate that. I certainly, if I were in office, I'd be campaigning to stop that.
I think
but marriage provides security for women, and for men it provides an obligation. That's all. It's an obligation. It's like signing a car lease or to buy a house and signing up for a mortgage. I mean, it's an obligation.
So what other reason would there be why people would get married? That makes actual sense. You did it 4 times.
I did. Well,
if I sit here and I say I'm getting married because...
In the more recent versions of my marital situations, I had a prenuptial agreement. That's not a secret.
I have no problem signing a prenuptial agreement, none at all. I believe that if he's making his money, he should be entitled to his money. I'm not going to sit here and ask for half. I know that you're saying it's my right, but I would sign a prenup. I have no problem with that. I'm not married.
But he won't ask you to, and therefore you will have the security that he will not have.
Right. There's no way around this. This isn't fair. Now, I'm not trying to go around it. Actually, what you're saying, I have to tell you, I agree with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm sitting there listening to you say, why do people get married? And you know, all I could say was the same old thing.
Most women, and even if you're the exception to the rule, most women get married so that they get a man to sign a contract to fork over cash in case things don't work out. Therefore, it's like an insurance policy.
Right. You're right. You're right. So why do men agree to do it?
Because men want sex, and they don't have the self-confidence to believe that they could continue getting laid, going out there and trying to pick up chicks.
I got to tell you, on that one part, of course I disagree because I keep saying I'm the exception to the rule.
But besides, most guys don't realize when they get married, the sex decreases.
Oh, see, but I'm completely opposite.
Well, again.
As soon as I moved in.
Wonderful that you are, but unfortunately, most women are not. Karen, thanks a lot for the call from Baltimore. I appreciate it. 1-800-5800-TOM.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis. Oh.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Los Angeles at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Ashley on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How are you doing?
Pretty damn good.
Well, I just wanted to call because, you know, I agree with you that there's a whole bunch of idiots in this world that get married for the wrong reasons. But I think that the idiots that are attracted to those type of women deserve to lose half.
Yeah, but what are the right reasons?
What are the right reasons? Well, I'm getting married in 2 weeks, so I can tell you why I'm getting married.
Well, I know why you're getting married, because if it doesn't work out, you still get a cash payment at the end.
All right. Let me tell you about me then. I make $64,000 a year. I have retirement accounts and investment accounts. I do have a little bit of student loan, but the only reason I'm keeping it in student loan is because the interest rate on it is lower than the interest rate that I'm making in my investment
Plus, if your marriage doesn't work out, then your husband will have to pay half of that. He'll inherit that debt.
Right, but why would he have to pay it? I'm financially secure on my own. That's not the point. The point is that if you don't know what the financial situation and the type of person that you're marrying, then you deserve to lose half.
But it doesn't matter whether you make $62,000 or $162,000 or $2,000. It doesn't really matter. The bottom line is that you have the security to know that if things don't work out, you can take some of what he has.
Well, why is it that I'm the one that's taking what he has? I don't want what he has.
Honey, dear darling, I'm not saying you're going to. I'm saying you can, even if you never will. You have that security.
No.
For example, let me give you an example. And it happens in marriages all the time. Yeah, you would never do that. Who's the most attractive woman you know?
Oh, God. You mean personally? Or
that your husband works with or whatever. Who is that?
Most attractive person I know, probably, I don't know, his cousin.
All right, someone he's not related to. Does he work with anyone attractive?
Oh, gosh. Not anyone that I can think of.
All right. They hire a new 19-year-old receptionist at his office.
Yeah.
And one day you come home and there he is banging the crap out of a 19-year-old with these huge hooters who looks a lot better than you do. Now, you don't intend to take anything from him. But what happened if he wasn't the person you thought he was? What happened if he was tempted to the point of doing something like that and you caught him?
Well, at that point, it would be my choice on whether or not I wanted to stay with him and work it out or not.
But you could also take his money. And many women who had no intention of taking the money, you've never been in the position before.
I don't live in California. I don't have this 50-50 women gets half here.
So how do they divide up property when you get a divorce?
It's what's it called? No fault.
We have no fault divorce. We have no fault divorce in California.
But in California, they have the thing where the wife gets half.
We have community property.
Yeah.
You're telling me that Oregon doesn't have community property? Or Oregon or Washington?
Washington.
You live in Washington State.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that they don't have community property in the state of Washington? I don't think that's true.
Well, it might not be. I'm not sure.
Well, that's my point, dear.
I don't know.
The point is you can take what he has.
And why can't he take half of what I have?
Because ask any guy who's been divorced. How many guys are getting alimony, child support? How many guys are getting anything from women? I mean, even though in theory they can, they never do.
Yeah, but that's because they make more money. They have more assets.
That's my point. So you have more to gain by getting married than he does.
No, he has more to gain. Because when you put the pot together of our assets...
But no, you don't put the pot together. You have to look at it as if you weren't married.
I don't understand.
Who makes more, you or him?
When you're married, you have joint...
Who makes more, you or him?
Me.
You?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm telling you.
But who has more money saved?
No financial gain whatsoever.
Who has more money saved? Who has more?
I do.
You do.
I have more in investment accounts. He has no retirement account.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I've been putting him into my retirement account since I graduated college. All right? Mm-hmm. He has no savings account.
Right.
Okay?
Do you plan to have kids?
What?
Do you plan to have kids with him?
Someday, yeah.
Who's going to take care of those kids?
Oh, who knows?
Who
and we'll
knows?
figure that out when we get there. You know, he has good...
It is possible you'll stay home and raise them.
It's possible, yeah.
And then he'll be making more than you.
Well, it'll depend on who's making more money at that time.
Oh, really? So he might stay home?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and he's excited about that, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Where do you rate on a scale of 1 to 10?
What do I rate?
Yeah.
Well, am I in L.A. or am I in Washington?
Well, we know where you are.
All right, well, for here, I'd say I was an 8 or 9.
Come on.
I'm blonde. I've got blue eyes.
So is half the population of the state of Washington. Please.
Oh no. Most of the women in Washington are a little chunky. I'm really.
You didn't talk about your weight yet. We talked about blonde. How many blondes are in Washington? Lots.
There's some.
Lots.
Not any more than any other.
Come on, you got the Swedes, you got the Nords, you got the Finns, come on.
I know, and my husband is actually from Norway, and
there we go.
Are dark haired. In fact, I just met a whole side of his family that came over.
There's a lot of blonde in that part of the world. A lot more than we see in SoCal. I mean, we see blonde in SoCal, but it's out of a bottle, and the carpet doesn't match the drapes.
Well, my carpet matches instead of my eyebrows.
I think more women, by the way, should start dyeing their arm hair blonde to go along with their head hair. You know what I'm saying?
That's not bad. Yeah, I don't have much arm hair. I'm a kind of...
When I go to El Pollo Loco and I see these chicks with, like, red hair and then thick, dark black hair on their arms, it's like, come on, dude. How about you...
That's not attractive anyway. I think they should lose it anyway. Even if they kept it dark on top.
How about the Epilady? Let's go.
Exactly.
All right.
Anyway.
All right, Ashley, I'm out of time here, but I thank you. Good luck getting married. Don't ever stop. Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Ron on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Ronnie, baby.
Hey, first-time caller, long-time listener.
Totally cool.
Hey, you know, Tom, I was listening to you, man, and I was thinking, why in the hell did I do what I did? You know, I've been married 13 years, got 3 girls, 3 boys. She had 3 girls, and we have 3 boys together. And like you said, the sex was good. It was great in the beginning. And it's just slowly to start dying down to like nothing.
Right.
You know, a little spurts here and there. You know, and, you know, that was a big point. I mean, getting married. You know, I mean, of course, I loved her and everything else was great and stuff, but my sexual appetite is like full, you know?
Yep.
And, I mean...
And now, because she has your last name on her credit cards, and because she has her name on your bank account, and because she's got that annuity known as a child with you, she has no obligation to continue to try to impress you. What's that?
I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, you know, every now and then little spurts and stuff come back, you know, but it's not enough.
I know.
It's not enough, you know.
That's right.
It is crazy, you know. And I was just really sitting here thinking, I was listening to you, and I was like, you know, why did I? I was trying to just analyze it, you know.
The most power you ever had was when she wanted you to marry her, and you had to think about it.
Oh, yeah.
That's when she treated you the best.
Yeah.
The longer you could have stretched that period of time out, the happier you would have been.
Yeah, you're right. You know, I got a cousin of mine, and
she never licked so much, sucked so much, effed so much, never as those months, right?
Yeah, I tell you, I should have did like my cousin. He
she never cooked so much. She never did your underwear so much. Never.
Never. I tell you,
you couldn't walk straight. She was effing you so much.
You got that right.
Yeah, and now, now she's under no obligation, and if you don't like it, you try to leave, she'll take what you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason you got married is because women are like magazines. You know, I don't know what magazines you read or which ones you like, but let's just take the most common ones, you know, Time, Newsweek, right? You know what? Sometimes you go to the newsstand and you look at a magazine and you go, hey, there's an interesting article, and you pick up the magazine, you pay $3 for it, and you read it, and then you're at the stand the next week, and a different magazine strikes your fancy, and you pick that one up, and you start reading it. And at some point, you decide, I'm getting tired of going down to the newsstand and having to lay out $4. I can get 52 weeks of U.S. News and World Report for $29.95. I got a little thing in the mail.
Yeah.
And so what you decide to do is, so you don't have to get out of the newsstand anymore, so that you'll get a regular magazine every week, you decide to mail in the $29.95 and have them, now you're committed to that one magazine every week. So, First couple of copies come in, and you're like, I feel great. I am so well informed. I'm reading U.S. News and World Report, and I know more than I feel great. And I read these articles, and they're empowering and compelling, and I'm just so informed. And then what happens is after 6 months, you start to notice that the columns all sound the same. And the magazine comes in, and you start putting it on the coffee table, and you never actually read it. It just kind of sits there so you look smart.
Yeah.
And the point is, you don't have to go to the newsstand anymore to pick it up. But you know what? You don't even want it coming to your house anymore.
Yeah.
But now you're stuck because you bought the subscription. And that's how it is with women. You know, at one time you get out of the newsstand and have your pick of one woman named Time, another woman named Newsweek, another woman named TV Guide. And suddenly now you're stuck reading U.S. News and World Report for the rest of your life. You can't even go down to the newsstand and look at other magazines. You're stuck with the one you subscribe to because you were too lazy to keep going down and picking one up every week.
Yeah.
That's why guys get married.
Yeah, you got that right.
Meanwhile, U.S. News and World Report, they got your check, and you can't get out. You're now a slave.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Where were you 13 years ago?
Rod, I've been in L.A. 15 years, Rod. I've been here.
Oh, man.
Where were you?
You were here, too.
You were busy trying to pick up chicks. That's why you never knew I was here. Now that your marriage is not what you thought it would be, now you got plenty of time to listen to talk radio.
Oh, Oh, yeah.
Instead of having phone sex on your cell phone, now you're calling talk shows.
Yeah.
How the mighty have fallen.
Tom. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom.
Hey, do you want to hear a spanking?
Yeah, of course I do.
All right. How'd you like that?
That was pretty good.
My ass was red.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Jane on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi. I was just calling because I was listening to your diatribe at the beginning, and I was thinking that some men, if the girl is really hot, might just marry for ownership.
Well, again, they may think they're getting that.
Sure.
The fact that you're married doesn't guarantee that.
No, but, like to say, yeah, that's my wife, and she's hot, and she's good looking, of course, for now. And
you could say the same thing. That's my girlfriend.
That's what I meant. Guys do it for girls. I mean, yeah, it's good to have a good-looking guy, too. But it's not always security, I don't think.
Well, but guys say that word, security. Now, maybe they do it because they believe they're going to get ownership and exclusivity. That's the reason a man spends the first dollar on a woman, is to try to get exclusivity. The man who spends a lot of money on a date with you is trying to keep you from going on a date with another guy. So it all starts there, and then it just continues where the man spends more and more money, trying to take up more and more of your time, so you're available to less and less other men.
But then also, once he gets you, he can say, yeah, she's mine.
Well, he can say that, but the reality is you could freely go F other guys because if he catches you, you get to take half of what he has.
I don't even care about that.
Dear, I'm not saying whether you... Dear, hello. I don't care whether you care about it. Yeah. It's something you can do, even if you don't choose to. So you have that security, even if you don't choose to use it.
Right, I'm right there with you.
It's like I might have a gun... And I might say, I have a gun for protection, but I would never actually use it. Yeah, but you could.
You could.
So you feel protected.
Right.
Well, the same thing is true with marriage for a woman. You may not want to take half of everything he ever earned, but you could. So therefore, it is security.
I think,
and if he does something you really, really don't like has sex with your sister, you could then turn around and use that against him. And many do. If he had sex with your brother, you could do the same thing.
Right, but I think what you're saying is all women keep that in mind when they do get married.
That's what's in it for you.
Security. Right.
Why do you need to get married?
Do that.
Why do you need to be married?
Well, for me, I think I have the dream of growing old with somebody, having that companionship. Yes, I do.
No, that way because you got married?
Yeah.
Dear, you live in Torrance, California. You know what the divorce rate is here in California?
It's pretty big. 2
out of 3 marriages end in divorce here.
Right, but I waited.
You have nothing.
33.
You have a piece of... I don't care. You have a piece of paper.
Yeah, but I want to have a dad for my children.
I know what you want. Dear, I agree that you should have a dad for your children. I'm just trying to tell you, you have no guarantee of anything.
No.
There is no such thing as security for a man.
But what if he has no money?
It doesn't matter. You know what? If he has $1, you're getting 50 cents.
But I don't care about that.
Dear, again, you're not hearing me. You're doing that female thing where you don't listen and you don't hear anything I'm saying.
You're saying
the fact that you're not doing it just doesn't... you still can do it if you want to.
Right.
If you wanted to get back at him for something he did that you thought was really bad...
Yeah.
You could do it.
Well, can't men do the same thing?
No. What's he going to get from you?
Half of what I have?
What do you have?
I don't know.
Nothing.
I don't have a lot right now. I'm unemployed.
But that's my point. That's the thing. There's security for the woman, but not for the man.
But, see, we split everything. Even all my unemployment goes towards all of our...
Right, but if you split up, he has to mail money to you.
I would hope not.